Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 496. Today is Saturday, November 8th, 2025, and I'm glad you could join me today. I'm mostly human at this point. It may be a little exciting getting through the podcast, but we'll just do it. It's fine. With enough warm liquids, many things are possible. So, what would it be? It's been a crazy few weeks. What was it? Like supposed to have Howlcats last weekend, but didn't have them. But then I got sick, and then I got like really sick. So I felt okay on Monday, but I had enough appointments that I ended up taking a sick day, and then I was not okay. I was quite bad for, would it be, for 3 days, and like Thursday was the first day where I felt less bad than the previous day. And Friday was similar, so it's, what would it be? Warm liquids. But despite having a time off work that didn't necessarily translate into knitting, it translated to staring off into the void or something. Fine. So, I am making some progress on my sanity. Uh, at this point, um, I've made it basically halfway through the neck on the front. And so um, I will need to start um, doing increases for the neck shaping very soon. Um, Not this row, but in like 4 rows. So, would it be? So we're moving. We're gonna transition back to the very long rows. Um, and I'm not sure, but I might need to be very careful about my yarn usage because I went to document how much yarn I had used at the halfway point and then discovered that I had used more than half of the teal. So I haven't decided how I'm going to manage that at this time, or would it be, because I do like it with a lot of teal, but I can't, or it will be expensive to get more yarn. So like I started with 107 and I weighed out 52, and I thought with 52 that would have been fine, but no, well. So Cinetop by Ksenia Nadean, also known as Life is Cozy. I'm knitting it out of Studio Donegal Darny in a teal, a hot pink, and a navy. I probably could have been doing more of it. Well, would it be? No, let's be real. I got a ton done on this. I took this into, so I had a 3 half-day class for work, in person, and knitting was important, for me to stay focused, so I did. Knitting was important for me to stay focused, um, so not too crazy there. I put like a marker here which was where I'd started the increases on the other side, but the front is nothing like the back. So whatever happened on the back happened, and as long as I have the same number of rows on the front, I don't care now. So that's that. But I did make a ton of progress on this, which was good. Um, so I don't know if that made up for how crazy or what it would be. It may have been a contributor to me and just totally crashing. We don't know. Outlook unclear. So, um, it's still living in this bag, even though this bag is very small for a whole sweater, but it does match so nicely, so we're just sticking with it. The other item, which of course is trying to pop off the needles for me, which is not ideal, is my Go-Go Dynamo. So this is last year's mystery knit along. And I have finished the short rows, and then I decided that I was gonna end up doing the section 10. So I had probably 60 grams of the gray dolphin and like 40, I think, grams of the blue midnight. And I had 16 grams of the alpaca fluff. And so, and of course, I'm in the middle of a row because it's hard not to be in the middle of a row right now. But I have taken or would it be? I finished the top of the shawl. So I have the slip stitch pattern, and then I have the teeny bobbles, and the teeny bobbles have gotten the alpaca fluff, and I think that does look very cute and nice, and definitely could use a block for sure. Would it be? And then I am working on, I took that perfectly good cast on edge and picked up all those stitches. So yeah, that's always maybe a little bit crazy making, where you have like we're like, all right, I have done all the bind off on this shawl, but now we're going to pick it up and do some more. It's fine. So based on my yarn usage, what I can do is, so in this section 10, wavy border, so you do some increases and decreases to keep the wave waving. It doesn't seem to take a lot. Um, no to be apparently I'm whatever. You know that moment when you're like, I have a thought. I'm not sure I'm willing to execute on the thought though. This thought feels very painful. So, so it would be the case where I think I had done the instructions slightly wrong. So there's that. Um, so they have you doing the contrast color um, in garter and the MC in stockinette, and for some reason I swapped that. So that's item number one. Item number two is, I was like, would I like it more if it was brioche, but it's a lot of ripping. And I don't think that um I don't think that I have enough of the alpaca fluff to do like a whole border like that. I do really like the little brioche section, but I'm realizing that having this be in garter, in fact, doesn't match like other parts of the shawl because this is stockinette and reverse stockinette, which is very different. So I think I'm just gonna keep doing this plan because I just don't want to. I don't want to change. I was like, um, this shawl has not been as fun to knit as Exploration Station. I do think I'm really going to like the finished object. I am a little bit worried that this I-cord on the short row wedges is a little bit too tight. Um, but I'm not really sure what it be aside from blocking. What else could be done about that? And like the top of it definitely needs blocking, so I don't know. Um, and then I do have one marker in it right now because doing the waves just needs just a little bit of guidance. I don't need a marker on the backside. But it was definitely the case for when I was starting this row or this section that I'm working on now. It was like, oh, yeah, and then rereading the directions and being like, okay. It's like, had I started to watch the video for this, it was like, what happened? It's fine. It was like, um, I was trying to think because about like what's went down on this. um, what's happened with this shawl since I talked with you 3 weeks ago? Like, I do I do feel like I have made a ton of progress. I am uh definitely feeling ready to or definitely feeling the desire to start new things. I think this has to be tempered with the fact that I did decide to use most most of the remaining yarn, so whatever. I chose this choice. I do I do think a foreskein shawl is a very delightful shawl indeed. So I guess I'm committed. Um, it may just be where I'm doing something similar to instead of exactly like, and that's fine. So I'll probably, so what's gonna end up happening is I'm just gonna check in, or I have my scale in the bag. I will check in periodically with the weights, and probably what I end up doing is doing a I'll see how I feel on what exactly I want to do with the bind off. Like if I do want to do something like a little bit looser, maybe. Um, Not sure. Um, it means that I would end up using a little bit more yarn, but I think if I end up checking my notes on this one, I'm definitely gonna have some leftover gray. So, um, and then on the question of the alpaca fluff, so I ended up buying two of these skeins, um, for a project with no plan. Um, so there is the possibility of winding the second skein and just continuing to have a very thick and fluffy border. That is an option. Um, I'm really enjoying the alpaca fluff. I don't know if I'm like just like lightly sensitive to it. I don't know. Or alpaca or the fluff of it just makes me want to sneeze a bit. Not sure. Because it's not itchy, but oh well. So, would it be? So, there may be a situation. I don't know. I'll have to decide after I do the blue, the next blue section, how I want to go exactly. Because based on my yarn usage, um, I do not have enough left to keep doing this. Or I don't have enough fluff in this skein to keep doing this. The question is whether or not I want to. Um, so, so I do really like the gray held with the alpaca fluff. Like, it adds, it gives it a very nice semi-solid look. Um, because the blue and the gray are pretty solid, pretty uniform. Um, and maybe it's also the case for holding the alpaca fluff is, like it definitely lightens up the gray for sure. Um, yeah, because you can sort of see with these two wedges, is like this one is a little bit lighter and brighter than this one. And I didn't particularly like the I didn't particularly like the alpaca fluff held with the navy. Um, Maybe because it, whatever, the midnight color. Um, but apparently I just committed to that choice. Whatever. I think it's gonna end up looking really cool. So it does make it look like I have four colors instead of just two by doing it that way. Um, Whatever. So just a little bit of it, not a ton. Um, but yeah. So we'll see how things come together there. Um, yeah, it'll also be interesting because I don't think I did the pickup row without holding the alpaca fluff, so my yarn usage might even be slightly higher. So that's fine. Um, just a little bit. So, um, so I'm pretty close to the finish line on this one. Um, it would be, it's definitely the case where, um, for the sweater project, um, there it's like whatever, slightly shorter rows and some interest due to the pattern. This one is like I have to focus a bit for um the wave row on it, but then the rest of the time is just long rows of knitting. Um, it was like it's like a 600 stitch row, 600 some stitch row. So it's just gonna go for a while. It's fine. Um, on the spinning front, I haven't been feeling great in the evenings, so not so much spinning so far. One thing that I think is actually pretty sweet, um, but I'm not sure whether or not I'll be able to finish in time, is so Jillian Moreno and the Knit Girls are doing a hip strings along. So, what would it be? So I think it started at the beginning of November. Um, and it was like if I can finish my sweater spin, that I'll probably do something like that. I have a good amount of hip strings fiber in the stash, so I could do something pretty fun there. Um, so that's just a matter of whatever. I'd actually have to do some spinning in the evening. Um, as you do. Um, so we'll see if there's some sort of nice show to watch and go from there. But I don't think I've made. I don't know, it's been a long time. Um, I'm pretty sure my last episode was in China, so yeah. Um, no big deal. I'm not going to I'm not gonna finish this row, but that's okay. I've shown you the shawl. And then I don't know. It still feels it still feels like a little far for or would be, even though I am on the home stretch of this shawl, it does still feel a little far for the figuring out what my next cast on is going to be. Um, so there's that. There's um, plenty of projects and opportunities here. Um, but yeah, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be in the mood for when the time comes, and is probably, yeah, I'm guessing it's probably going to be the case where I um like finish both of these projects before starting something new. So we'll just have like total clean state slate. We'll see how that goes. Um, as you do. And it's like there are quite a lot of things to choose from, so it might just be the case where I don't know if I end up going for um another summer top or not. Um, if only because I have a lot of summer top yarn. And I would like to use it. So, um, would it be? So, I'll have to figure out what it is I want to do, or if I do want to do something heavier. Um, I had a really weird thing where I'd pulled out my needle felting thing and all the needles were broken, which then brought the question of where are the broken needles? It was like, I don't think I did it. So, whatever. So, I need to add some, or I need to get some needle replacements for that. But I'd originally bought that for a steeking project, so I don't know if it's finally time to do that. I've got everything I need. Or if I'm going to pick something simpler. We'll see. It's like if I'm going to cardigan, um, it may be, or what is it? There's something about when you have like little kids, like the little littles, and you're like, all right, cardigan is definitely the right item for this. And then I think I'm normally just a pullover person, so but a cardigan can come in handy. I think when you could get like puked on, then like yeah, cardigan seems better. So we'll see how it goes. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure out what feels good. Um, so we should be able to record again at the usual whatever. We'll get back on a every 2 week schedule. Would it be and we can probably hold to that for a while, so that shouldn't be too crazy. I am sort of genuinely curious about when I get to start something new, so that's exciting. Yeah, and we'll see if I can find a way to spin a little bit more because I would like to support Jill and Nick. So we'll get it figured out. Anything else? Um, should be good. So with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon. So take care, guys. Bye bye.